Is time travel already happening in secret? And what dangers ripple from it? In this episode, we dive into the hidden world of time manipulation through tarot. Are black budget experiments breaking time's laws? What drives someone to risk the timeline itself? Inspired by Fringe, we explore the secrets, dangers, and cosmic consequences of traveling through time, and what might happen if these forbidden acts continue unchecked. Hello everyone, welcome back, or welcome if this is the first time on this channel. We are going to hop right in to question 1 on this Fringe-inspired episode 3. So the question is, are humans already using real time travel in secret? Now you might be thinking, well, geez, don't we all know that, right? Well, let's see if we are correct in what we are saying by asking the cards. And we start with Oracle, because it really doesn't care what I think. And then we go to Tarot for more information, because Tarot reads my mind. Oracle does not. It's always best for me to start with Oracle. All right, so we got Release was the first card. Let's see where second card goes. We have Let It Be. Okay, we have Driving Miss Daisy. Just looking to the left here, just to make sure you can see the cards. My monitor's over there. Okay, and Bus Stop. So the question again, are humans already using real time travel in secret? I don't think it's so much in secret anymore. This says release. And I think this is something that has been going on for a long time. The information about it has been released over time, maybe kind of covertly, but it has been released out into the ether. So let's say there might be little clues in news stories that are given. There might be releases in time travel movies, things like that. So I think there is time travel. It is kind of being done in secret, but the information about it is being released a little at a time. Then we have Let It Be. Yeah, it's showing that we are getting messages from whoever is doing this, whoever's doing the time travel. And those messages are, like I said, in news stories that kind of maybe mention it randomly. Also, movies. All of a sudden, there for a while, there was a lot of time travel movies coming back to back to back. So I think they were going a little further with their time travel while they were doing that. So if they have to tell us what they're doing, then that's the way to do it. Then we have Driving Miss Daisy. Yeah, that's Miss Daisy saying, here's what I'm doing. You can follow it or not. And then Bus Stop. I think that's just saying it's like a stop and go type thing. Not the time travel itself. They're not stopping when they're traveling. They're not just up and stopping. I'm saying the idea of time travel, the time travel they're already using, I think they play with it for a little while and then they stop and kind of tweak things. Tweak their time machine, tweak whatever it is that they have to tweak. And then they start up again, and then they stop again to do the same thing. So let's see what more is here. We have the Stepford Wives every kind of people, and good news. Okay, so with the Stepford Wives, I almost feel like this time travel right now is men only. That's kind of what I get. And I'm not sure why, other than it's almost like they just want it to be theirs for the time being. However, that's going to have to change because secrets don't stay secret for very long, and there are time travel stories that have women within them. In other words, shows that have women within them that are fully capable of doing the time travel also. So I feel like that's going to change. Not sure what the good news is. Is the good news that women are going to be added in, or is there something else? So let's look at tarot and see if we can get a little more information. So obviously time travel is being done. It is secret to some degree, but if we pay attention to the shows and we pay attention to the news and things like that, we might actually find some truth. All right, so with tarot, with release, we have Ace of Pentacles. All right, with the Ace of Pentacles, they're putting out a lot of money for a lot of different things where time travel is concerned. You never know whether it's going to be a movie, whether it's going to be PR, whatever it's going to be. It all costs something. And the potential for what they can spend on for this is, there is no limit to it. That includes upgrading time machines or however, figuring out how to open up portals. The money is being put out there in many different ways. And please forgive me if you can hear my Chihuahua snoring. He was in the other room, like clear in the kitchen, and he knows I'm recording, so in he comes. All right, so then we have the Five of Wands with Let It Be. And if you remember, Let It Be was about the messages that we receive about time travel. And with the Five of Wands, this is just a competitive energy. I feel like there might be more than one time travel club. We're just going to call it a club. Time travel club that is going on. So they're kind of competing to get the information across to us in different ways. And it is definitely a chaotic situation. It's a competition between maybe who has the most money to work with, who has the most friends to donate, etc., etc. It's a competitive market. Driving Miss Daisy, we have the Ten of Pentacles. Yeah, somebody here wants this to be a legacy of some sort. They want to be able to pass it down to, I would imagine, family members or people that they're close to. But those people have to toe the line first. They have to know what they're doing and toe the line, as with Driving Miss Daisy. And then we have the Nine of Pentacles. Yeah, they're trying to perfect the physical aspect, meaning perhaps the time machine, the portal, that whatever it is, they're trying to perfect that, which is why they go through some time travel and then stop, come back, tweak things, and so on. And we have the Devil. Yeah, I don't think they trust that women won't take over. A lot of women have very powerful personalities. They have very powerful ideas. And the men just really don't want the women to take over on this one. And they feel like they would have to give away their power here with the Devil card. The Star. I think that there are some interferences, people interfering or beings interfering with this thinking. So the star card for me are the spirit guides, the angels, otherworldly beings, etc. And I feel like they're starting to step in because if time travel is going to take place, it has to involve everyone. And then we have the Ten of Cups as good news. And the Ten of Cups is like the happy, happy card. It is the card of family and love and wonderful emotion. It is also the card of ultimate intuition. And allegedly, women tend to have better intuition than men. So perhaps that's the good news, is to get the women in there because they can use that amazing intuition for furthering time travel. All right, so let us pick up here and see where else we are going with question 2. And if this is the first time you've been on this channel, the way that I clean up is a little slower perhaps than most. However, I like to do this because I feel like putting the cards in randomly, and then when I shuffle, I know that they're shuffled well. That way, if I get duplicate cards, they're cards that are meant to be duplicate and not just because I haven't shuffled very well. All right, so almost done here. And let's see. All right, so question 2. What drives people to break the natural laws of time? So we're looking into perhaps it's love, perhaps it's an obsession of some kind, maybe guilt of some kind, ambition, or maybe it could be something even darker than that. So let's see what drives people. Card 1, we have I Am Legend. That one's kind of self-explanatory, isn't it? I want to be legendary. I want to be the first one to say I've time traveled and bring back proof. Every kind of people again. Still always amazes me when duplicate cards come out, when there's so many cards to choose from. So you know they're meant to. And we have the Patriot. See, you can hear him snoring, I'm sure of it. And if I tried to cut the snoring out of the video, there wouldn't be any video left. And pushing tin. Okay. So, as I said with I Am Legend, reiterating the question, what drives people to break the natural laws of time or want to time travel? So, I Am Legend, obviously, there's people out there who want to be legendary. They want to make sure that they are known, that everyone knows that they're the ones who did specific things. And I think every person would kind of like to time travel, if at all possible. And this time travel it'd be great to be able to go back in time and perhaps change something, although that could be no-no. But I think everybody has thought about it. And it takes every kind of people to bring forth the many different ideas that could probably go with time travel, the many different dangers, the many different ways of doing things, coming up with the ideas for the machines or portals or however it's being done. And I feel like the people who are working on it really believe that they are patriots. that they are doing something that is best for humanity in general. At least that's how they look at it. Although the word patriot doesn't always have a good connotation. And this card is actually a card of the past. So it can go two ways here. We can have the patriot. The reason that it was being done was to do something good for humanity. Or the now, perhaps, where these people just think they know best and are doing it because they term themselves patriot, but in fact, they're deciding for humanity what is going to be done and what's not. And when we talked about in the last reading, or in question 1, we got the 5 of Wands, and the energy there was competitive. Pushing Tin is also a competitive movie. A really good movie about air traffic controllers. Now, isn't that interesting? We've got travel. So there is competition in this. It's not just one group of people that are doing time travel. Then we have Die Hard, Cat People, and Michael. I think there's been a lot of trial and error here. Some things have not gone as well as they might hope. So that's part of the reason why a lot of it is still being done in the dark. And I do believe there's probably a lot of praying going on every time somebody goes out on a mission, a time travel mission. So what drives people? They want to be famous. In some cases, they want to be doing what's good for humanity. In others, they want to dictate what is going to happen or is good for humanity. There's all kinds of different people involved. There would be more if more people knew it for sure. They'd step right up and attempt it, certainly. So let's see what more tarot has to share. Yeah. There are just times it has to get stuck, right? All right, so let's pull. I Am Legend with the Hierophant. Yeah, they want to be the ultimate knowledge. They want to be able to be the teacher, to be able to be the mentor. They want to be the first one. 3 of Wands. Yeah, it's a group effort for sure. And the number of people that are a part of it is actually growing. There's more people getting on that ship. Patriot, we've got the 3 of Swords. So I think, again, once upon a time, this was a way to help humanity. When you were called a patriot, that's what it is. Now it's more along the lines of betrayal of humanity, because we still have this fame situation going on. 5 of Swords. Pushing Tin, remember, is competitive. Air traffic controller movie with a lot of competition. So we're looking at travel. And the 5 of Swords is no longer a just friendly competition. This is serious. They're struggling with each other, whoever it is that's competing here. It's getting very serious. And then we have the 5 of Cups. Yeah, there's been some emotional situations that have taken place. There's been some loss. Thus the blowing up of the tower here in Die Hard. It's a pretty serious situation, or situations that they've had. 2 of Pentacles. Yeah, it's it's kind of a debate here on whether to do things in the daytime or do everything at night. I think they've tried both, but because of the situations that have happened and because there's so much competition and angry competition, I think a lot of the work is being done at night still. And then we have the Eight of Cups. Because of this situation, there are those people that have been a part of time travel that really would like to walk away. You can only do so much praying before this is the decision you'd want to make with the Eight of Cups, walking away. The emotion is just, you'd like to master the emotion that comes up, but if you lose people, that's difficult to do. Now, whether they can walk away, that's a whole nother ball of wax. So let us see, after cleanup here, what question 3 will be. We have 5 questions in this episode. All right, we're almost 2 cards left to put away in the tarot. Ooh, that one didn't want to go. Almost losing them all. There we go. I got them. It's under control. All right, so here go the oracles. They're quick. All right. So question 3. What dangers or unintended consequences come from time travel and possible attempts to change the past? All right. Guess it depends on who's doing it, right? At least the way it sounds. So we have Minority Report. Morning has broken. Nope, we don't take droppers or jumpers. Not for these readings anyway. All right, we've got Michael again. Okay, and we have The Last Samurai. Okay, so if you've ever seen the movie Minority Report with Tom Cruise, there are 3 psychics that are kept, I guess, in captivity. Those psychics can see issues or crimes, I'm going to say crimes, happening ahead of time. And that gets fed into this really cool computer system that they have. And then they can go pick up the culprit or the person who plans to commit a crime before they actually commit it, okay? So I feel like when it says what dangers or unintended consequences come from time travel and possible attempts to change the past, I feel like they may have gone into the past to try and change some crimes that have taken place, some even to the point of, with a bad guy, let's say, for instance, the Holocaust. If you get rid of the main character in Holocaust, I don't know if I can say his name on YouTube, Hit and then L-E-R. Anyway, if you can consider going back in time and making sure that that person isn't born, what's going to happen? Are the consequences going to be insane? Let's put it that way. And then with Morning Has Broken, if you come back from a time travel where you've attempted to change the past, is everything broken? Do you wake up in the morning and discover that, oh my goodness, nothing is as it should be? I think the angels, our spirit guides, source, whoever, I do believe that they do their best to keep that from happening. There has to be some kind of interference there, because otherwise there'd be races that would be completely wiped out just due to people who are time traveling who have specific beliefs about people. Maybe a total dislike for certain ones, and let's go back in time and destroy them. So let's see what else takes place. We've got the window, castaway, and bus stop. I kind of get the impression that they have an opportunity, and I think it's a short opportunity, to review what may happen if they change time or try to change the past. I think there's a small window that maybe the angels provide to say, here's what's going to happen. If you do this, if you try to change something and you go back in time to do it, you may break the way things are. But here's your window. You can take a sneak peek, and then it's time to decide what it is that you would like to do. Do you really want to change it? In that way, with Castaway, they can cast away the idea. They can just forget going back in time and doing it. It's something that allows them to stop and think. Just stop what they're considering doing, because the consequences probably aren't great when time is changed completely. Now, that's providing that the things that we've been told about certain things are the way they are. There's been a lot of untruths, allegedly, about our history. All right, so with tarot, we have the sun. Yeah, things get illuminated and clarity is brought forth through this time travel. Things that obviously we wouldn't be able to see without some kind of clarity, some kind of being able to go there and see for ourselves. And then we have the Ten of Swords. So yeah, that would be the ultimate error. The Ten of Swords. The ultimate mistake in attempting to do this. Go back in time and change things. Six of Wands. The angels, spirit guides, whoever's doing this, I'm going to say angels because Michael, that movie is about an angel. He recognizes what some people are trying to do. And this is not to say that everybody that is involved in the time travel programs wants to change the past, but there are some who don't have any qualms in wiping out specific races, and they'd like to do it as quickly as they possibly can because they believe that would change everything, whatever that means. The window, we've got Ten of Pentacles. They get to take a sneak peek. The angels allow them to see a sneak peek of what is going to happen, the legacy that's left behind if they choose to change something, choose to wipe out a race. Page of Pentacles. This is pretty much just the initiating the thought, the idea, trying to get the angels trying to get the idea past, this new idea, past these people who want to do past changing. They're like, hey, here's what's going to happen. This is the message you're going to get. It's what you're going to see. And Five of Cups. Yeah, they're trying really hard. The angels are trying really hard to hit the emotion, to cause emotional chaos to these people so they won't attempt to do the past changing in this way. Things are going to break. There's just no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Unless they cast away, accept the message that they're being given, and they cast away the idea. Notice how close these are. One right on top of the other. Then things are definitely going to turn out not well. So let us pick up these tarots and then move on to question 4. So I hope you're enjoying what I'm doing here and the information that we're getting from the cards. If you like this, please don't hesitate to like and subscribe, and perhaps share and even comment. I'd love to read comments. Oop. Oh, goodness. I'm just like sloppy today. Okay. Just wants to slide and move, and I'm sure you can see it. I lift them up and they go scooting. All right. So 2 more. Okay. So question 4. Is there a hidden cosmic balance that governs time travel? In other words, is there a higher intelligence that course corrects when things are being tampered with? And in the last question, we saw that the angels came and they show things, give a window of opportunity to see with clarity. We have let your love flow. But is there something more or someone more than the angels even that course correct? Okay, we have Night of the Living Dead. We have Princess Bride. And Roadhouse. So the question again is there a hidden cosmic balance that governs time travel? I feel like the answer is yes, because the beings that we work with, the angels, the spirit guides, otherworldly beings, they come across with a lot of love. Let your love flow. So by pushing the love frequency, they're hoping, I think, that the people who are doing the time travel will get in tune with them, get connected with them, so that they aren't as, well, I'm going to say bloodthirsty. Just like it says here, they keep coming back in a thirsty lust for human flesh. It's what it says on Night of the Living Dead card. I feel like that's what they're hoping. Perhaps it's trying to somehow give them the impression or give them a connection to humanity again. So I think a lot of what happens is when certain people are soured on humanity, maybe they had a bad experience and they just want to make everybody pay. And I feel like these beings, whoever they are trying to do it in a loving way to stop people from doing bad things to other people, and also in the hopes of maybe showing them different kinds of humans and the good things that they can do. So many different good things. And look how very close in color these cards are. I'll move them down just a titch. The light is kind of bleaching them out a little bit, but anyway, these beings I feel like are the defenders of humanity, and they're trying to teach the rules of time travel, I think. Trying to get these people to play fairly. Then we have the Towering Inferno, the Postman, and Singing in the Rain. So with the Towering Inferno, this teaching, I think, sometimes falls on dead ears. Something is built, not maybe of the greatest design. They want to make sure that it's done as cheaply as possible, so, the rest of the money can be pocketed if necessary. And this causes or can cause a lot of destruction. And when they're considering if going back to changing the past or something like that with the time travel, it can cause some pretty horrendous things. So, do they interfere? Is there a cosmic balance? Do they course correct? Yes, they do. And they feel quite justified and quite good about doing so. Their whole point is to protect humanity. So, course correcting sometimes is necessary because you've got one kind of person, one kind of people who would like to wipe out all the rest. So course correcting is sometimes required. So let us see what the tarot has to add. So with Let Your Love Flow, we have the Nine of Pentacles. Yeah, these beings, they want humanity to have everything. They have nothing but good intentions, good wants for humanity in general. It's all about love. And the Nine of Pentacles is all about having everything that you need to make you happy. Money, health. All right, so the Hierophant. Yeah, they're trying so hard to teach people how to treat one another. And they're trying very hard to teach the ones who are doing the time travel and the ones who would like to change the past, trying to teach them what could happen. Five of Pentacles. There's all walks of life of kinds of people. Some of them are good people, some of them are bad people. It creates chaos, yes, but it's also necessary. It's what keeps life from being boring. It's what keeps us on our toes. It's what keeps us striving for love and a good life. We have the Knight of Swords, and that would have been Patrick Swayze in Roadhouse. He was the defender, and he was active about it. It wasn't, he tried to communicate first without having to draw his sword, so to speak, but communication oftentimes was not enough. He had to actually fight. And these guys try very hard to communicate as well in signs, in having things happen, unexpected things that hopefully hurt no one. But we have the Fool. But these people look at it as, oh, this is the risk that we need to take. We want to do this, so there's going to be risks to it. They know that, not understanding that some of the things that happen are to try and show them this is us. We're going to make sure you do nothing bad here. And then we have the Seven of Wands. There are so many things that these time travelers could do. So many different things. And it's up to these beings, whoever they are, to defend this world, to defend time in general. Then we have the Four of Pentacles. Yeah, they're doing a good job so far, these beings, whoever they are, they're doing a good job so far in holding things together, making sure that time isn't changing, but and that makes them happy. It's a great thing because they're holding humanity together. They're keeping this kind of scenario away. There are, and now this could be argued because the Mandela effect obviously shows some people remembering certain things a certain way and other people remembering them completely differently. Is it connected? Possibly. I can't say for certain. It may very well be connected to time travel and the possibility that somebody has tried to change the past. Might be something we have to look into at a later date. All right, so let's get the cleanup done here and we'll go on to the last question. And it's probably good that there are those who are course correcting because we know what what we're being told our history is. Is there going to be a time that we actually know the absolute truth about the history that we've been told? Maybe, but it looks like the beings that we just worked with in that last question, they'll be the ones to decide how things go with that. Is it in the best interest of humanity, I guess? So question 5, if time travel continues, what is the end result for the world? Okay, we have Bird Box. Interesting movie if you've never seen it. Food for thought. Definitely food for thought. And then we have Barrier. Bus stop again. That's the third time now in 5 questions. And we have Dante's Peak. Another really good movie. Okay, so with Bird Box, and the question again being, if time travel continues, what is the end result for the world? I feel like the individuals or the beings that are the cosmic controllers or the ones who course correct when there's too much tampering going on, I feel like they're going to make sure that certain things stay in the dark, that certain things never really are seen by those who are doing the time traveling. I feel like they're going to keep them a little bit blind about certain things. put up a barrier or you can't go past this line. They won't allow it. They won't allow them to go past a certain line with their eyes open. They don't want them to actually see, because obviously that can cause issue. So in a way, this is part of their reasoning that things need to stop. And if not stop, definitely slow down, okay, for this time travel business. They have things under control right now, okay? If they would allow it free reign, our happy world, our happy little world, would probably be destroyed. In my opinion, it is, as in Dante's Peak, the town that gets destroyed was just named the second best place to live in the United States. It's destroyed by a volcano that had been dormant for a long time. So I feel like these beings are making sure that this is not the end result for us. Then we have 1, separation, and Mosquito Coast. This is what's done. Not to everybody that's doing the time travel, but the ones who really want to hurt humanity by changing the past, or hurt certain races by changing the past. I don't think they're going to stop time travel completely, these beings. But there is a line. There is a line, and they are stopped. Time travel is stopped at that line, because it could leave, if they don't do it, it could leave life empty in some way or another. It could separate people from one another. Various things that they're doing. One person or 2 people would turn into one, as though the 2 people didn't exist. Only one person existed. Separation. Having, let's say somebody went back in time to change a relationship. Maybe they had a relationship with someone, and that someone, they broke up, and that someone married somebody else. They could go back in time and change this situation, so that that person was single again, that they never separated, or they could go back and separate those 2 and then get together again. They could change all of that. But these are the kinds of things that are not being allowed to be done, as well as allowing fear to take over and have people go into survival mode in such a way that they don't even want to live on the land. There's a lot here that if time travel were not checked in this way, there could be natural disasters that could happen. There could be people who end up being alone that never were alone. There could be separation through death. Maybe there was never meant to be a volcano, and suddenly there's a volcano that wipes out one person's family, leaves them empty, leaves their life empty. They're separated by death. They go off all alone on a river in a boat to avoid everything that has happened to them, not knowing that it was time travel that caused it all. And that is one of the things that these beings are making sure that there is a barrier. Certain places that these time travelers cannot see, so that this scenario, and it was just one example, this scenario cannot take place. So let's see what tarot has to bring forth here. And isn't the old saying, one bad apple? Yeah. All right, so with Bird Box, we have the Eight of Pentacles. Yeah, this is something that these beings have to work at constantly. It isn't just oh, well, this person wants to do this. Nope, can't do it. This person wants to do this. Nope. The ideas from these time travelers, these people who do this, keep coming. So this is something that these beings that have to keep course correcting because the tampering is just too much, they have to make the decision about what can or cannot be seen from the past or the future or wherever. They are constantly working. And then we have the Tower. Yeah, the barrier is there for our protection, to make sure that our world doesn't come tumbling down. And the bus stop, part of this is to keep things from moving too fast. They have to make sure that these travelers do stop from time to time or not get anywhere at all. Dante's Peak, we have the Five of Swords. Yeah, kind of deadly chaos for sure. That volcano there. And again, that volcano is just an example of one thing that can happen if time travel continues unchecked. If people are free to do whatever they want with no cosmic balance. One, we have the Four of Swords. Yeah, Four of Swords is another death card. And then the Devil. Yeah. These people who would like to go back into the past, as we've seen in previous questions, and destroy certain things, change certain things, they don't think about, they've given their power away to the wealth that they might receive, or the obsession that they have, or the greed, whatever their reasoning is, they've given their power away. And they really don't care what it does to humanity or even individual people. And then we have the Magician. Yeah, the Mosquito Coast is also a conspiracy card. So they can create, if they were given free rein, they could create things, call them conspiracy theories, where they're never taken seriously, but yet still get away with doing, oh no one did that. That's just a conspiracy theory. It's trickster energy. But it's also, the Magician is also a manifestation card. Things can manifest through unchecked time travel, which is what these beings, they're saving us from. We can be very thankful for whoever this higher intelligence is that works to make sure that things aren't tampered with too badly. They don't want to stop our growth and our curiosity, but they also don't want us to destroy ourselves in the process. So that is what we have for this episode 3, Fringe-inspired episode 3. Teaser for the up and coming episode. The ones watching us, don't blink, don't age, and don't want to be remembered. But what happens if we see them? So there is your teaser for Fringe-inspired episode 4. We also have the schedule for the 3 shows that I do each week up on the screen. So I hope that you will take a little time and maybe one of those also interests you, not just Fringe, but one of the other 2. Here's also hoping that you have a fantastic week and that you'll be back next week, same time, same place, as well as the other 2 shows. So until then, take care.